Hey everybody, thank you so much for your time and thank you for tuning in. Last sessions, I shared with you how to create simple MIDI instruments and create your simple loops. And this sessions, I'm going to share with you something really cool, okay? So we are going to tweak it further. I'm going to show you some filter, some modulations that you can use to further enhance your sound or change the entire texture of your sound, okay? So if you are not sure how to do it and create a new simple MIDI, you can refer to my previous video. But in this video, we are just going to continue what we left off in our previous video. So let me just play for you what we have created previously just by dragging the loops, okay, the drum loops. So to do that, let me just zoom in for you. So on your right side, you should be seeing this browser tab. So if you cannot find, you can go to the bottom right. You will see there is a browse over here. So you can click and the browser page will appear. Okay, so let me zoom out. So from here, you can select the drum and then just drag and pull over, and it will create automatically. It will create the track for you. Now, today we are going to choose another one. Of course, you can make changes on all this. If you click on edit, you will be able to edit the MIDI notes itself. All right, so by default, MIDI doesn't generate any sound. Okay, so you need to select the instruments. Now let's just choose another one. So let me just go to others. So you can click on loops, go to other, keyboard, and click on loops. I'm gonna use the Whirly 4-1. Okay, so this is really nice. So to audition this, you can also click on the play. Let me zoom in for you. So there is a play buttons over here where you can actually listen. Okay, so I think the number one will fit our feel. Okay, so what you need to do is basically click and drag over and bam, that's it. Okay, of course, you can also tweak around all these notes. You can drag them around if you want to. You can change the velocity, okay, the sound, how loud, how soft. You can even do pitch bend automations if you want to, okay? But I'm not going to go into this in detail for this tutorial. I will leave it just as it is, okay? Now, before we begin the tweaking, let me just duplicate this so that we can compare later on, right? So I'll drag another one. So this is another one, right? So I'll just mute this first, okay? I don't need this. Now let me go back to the original. The one that we are going to change, okay? So this is original. Okay, now let me go back to here. So what we're gonna do over here is to tweak it. Okay, so I'll leave it as it is. Now before we do that, I want to actually create a cycle loop so that we don't have to keep repeating and click on it. So how you do it is you go to the top and then you drag over, and then this is the part that you are going to cycle, and at the bottom and the transport, you just click on loop active, and then it will just loop the playing. Okay, now so let's click on the keyboard icon over here. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. So there is a keyboard icon. Okay, so you click on the keyboard icon. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. Okay, now so over here, this is your actually this is your MIDI controller, and these are all the keys. Okay, now this is what we are using. So let me just a good practice is always rename that so you know which instruments that you are using. So this is Whirly 4-1. This is a loop. All right, so okay, now this is also the Whirly, but I can call it Whirly 4-1 original. Okay, so this is original. We don't touch it, and then let's go back here. So this is how it sounds. Okay, so if I play, hit on the space bar. Okay, So this is how it sounds like. So let me walk through with you what are the parts that we can change. Okay, now this is LFO1, LFO2. LFO stands for low frequency oscillator. So basically for most of the MIDI controller, they will have LFO for you to tweak. So basically what you do is you select the waveform that you want to tweak. The general popular waveform will be the sine wave, the saw wave, the triangle wave, and also the square wave. For Studio One Prime, I don't think we can tweak the LFO 1 and 2. It's by default there, but we can't tweak it. So it doesn't matter how you manipulate and click whatever button, it's just not going to affect the sound, okay? It's going to stay the same, okay? But if you are on the Pro version, you can tweak it. Now, let's look at the center part. Okay, so this is a filter. To activate the filter, if it's dimmed out, you can click on the filter button, then it will lit up. Now, this filter basically gives you options to do different types of effect. So let me just solo this track so that you can hear the original sound. Okay, so if I want to make it a little bit more aggressive, I can use the drive. Okay, I can increase the drive. So let me play and you can listen and you can hear the difference. Okay, so I think I will stay around 61. Now the next thing is punch. Okay, so punch. This is like a compression. So you can hear that it actually compress the high frequency, so it doesn't sound so edgy. But of course it increased the lower end frequency. Okay, so I think I want this to be a little bit more edgy. Okay, so I don't need too much punch on that. I can even okay, so I think this is nice. Resonant, it's kind of effect or like the feedback effects. Okay, so it's kind of this one doesn't have a lot of resonance. Some other instruments, you will have some feedback. It's kind of irritating, so you use it wisely. This cutoff basically tells you that any frequency that is above 20,000 hertz, it will be cut off. Of course, then those are the frequencies we can't hear, right? So it will be a full spectrum. But here is what's gonna happen if I actually lower down or reduce the frequency. So you can see from here, if I reduce it to 62, anything that is above 62, I will cut it off. So you can only hear the low frequency. So if I increase 600 hertz, anything that is above 600 hertz, I can't hear. Okay, you can have a soft knee over here. Okay, so in this case, I wanted to filter. I don't need to have any cutoff filtering. Okay, so I just leave it as it is. Velocity, of course, the sound, how loud you want to increase the sound, lower. Okay, so this is up to you. Now, next thing is the key. In this case, it doesn't affect. So over here, there is a different filtering that you can choose from. Okay, like example, low pass, high pass, and then you also have different types of effects that you. So for example, if let's say I want to have a low pass, okay, so this is the one. So it allows the low pass to go over low pass 12. Anything, it will just filter out the bass, so it sounds even more edgier, right? Then echo filter, let's go back. I still need some body. Okay, so this is the filtering part. Now over on the right side, you will have two different envelopes. Okay, so M envelope and the other envelope 2. Again, envelope 2, I don't think we can make any manipulation, so it will just using the envelope, the M envelope. Okay, now you have 4 buttons over here at the bottom. A stands for attack, D stands for decay, S sustain, and R means release. So what it means is that how fast attack means how fast the instrument will start working. So in this case, if it's at 0 second, that means the moment the note hits over here, I will start generate the sound. But if I increase the attack time, it will delay the attack. So it gives a little bit more soothing effect. Okay, so let me demonstrate to you. So it becomes like a pad kind of effect instead of the keys. Okay. Okay. Now, decay is how long the sound gonna last, right? And of course the sustain as well. Now, release is basically how soon it's going to release this. So the longer it is, then it will actually stuck over there. So for example, 30 seconds. Okay, so you can play around with this to create some very interesting kind of effects. So for example, okay, so this is kind of fun, right? Now, the next thing I wanted to show you is here, okay? So this is actually a tweaking that you can make. For example, you can fine-tune the pitch by sense, right? So example, if I want to increase the pitch, I can also change the sample shift by semitone. I can also transpose that. Okay, so it's kind of fun. So now let me just make some changes over here. Okay, so now after this is going to be very interesting. So if you go down even further, you will see there's a FX, effect A, effect B, and mod A, mod B means modulation, right? So how this work is that if I'm going to effect A, there is a modulation. So click on it, it will activate this modulation. So in this case, there are 3 types of effects that we can use: the chorus effect, the flanger, and the phaser. So currently it's on the phaser effect, right? So I can also change it to chorus, flanger. So I can tweak the decay, I can tweak the beat, I can tweak the width, I can tweak the feedback, and I can sync it to the drums and also play with the depth. Okay, so I'm gonna make some tweak and see which one is nicer. I can even make it mono, okay, but I think I'm gonna try Okay, so I'll stay with this. And then there is this delay. Okay, so now let's turn on the delay. It's going to be very interesting. So I'm going to do a dotted delay. A little bit of reverb. Okay, so this is 1/4 delay time. Maybe let's try to increase a little bit, maybe. Let's do 1/8. Okay, that's nice, right? So, and I don't need a lot of low frequency, right? So let's just maybe delay. I'll just cut a little bit. Okay, and then we have the reverb, right? So reverb is nice. So I can have a big reverb, like for example, I want it to. Okay, I can also have a little bit, dampen a little bit, and big size. Pre-delay. Okay, now so far we have tweak a few, right? But let me just do a quick comparison with the previous one. This is the original. So this sounds a bit like, you know, just normal without any effect. But after we've made some simple tweaking, it becomes. This is like cool, right? Now, let's go to FXB effect B. This is even cooler because you can actually have a gate effect. So for example, I want to have a gate effect. Choose this. Trigger. I can even do an EQ. I can even have a distortions over here, okay? So let's have a soft tube then. Okay, then you can also have a pan. That means I can pan left or right. This is so cool, right? So this is effect A and B. Then of course we can also go to modulations, like for example if you want to have some expressions and all that. But I think we may not be able to change it. So let's try. So I want to have a modulation on the M. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a M envelope. But maybe I'll try velocity instead. Okay. And then let's do this. I think we can't do the modulations for Studio One Prime, unfortunately, but that's fine. And we have actually tweaked quite a lot of things. Okay, so let me just increase a little bit on the attack time. So this is how it sounds after we have tweaked it, and this is the original. So much different, right? So, but if we actually do it together, it sounds like this. So it's kind of cool that you can blend both of them together, and now together with the drum. So hope you learned something, and I will see you next round. See you then. Bye bye.